Well, as you can probably tell from the vast quantity of memes that have been put out about this already, Scott Morrison was on 60 Minutes. And as you can guess, f***ing brutal. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Carl Stefanovic gets in the kitchen with Scott Morrison and gives him an absolute grilling. What are you cooking up there, Scott? A curry. This is an absolute magnum opus of Scott Morrison's. His art is marketing, and Channel 9's art is making Liberal politicians look good. Those two converge together. Mwah! This is like if Michelangelo's David decided to get a sleeve tat and it was the Sistine Chapel. Check it.
Not even the mythical Scotty from marketing would take on the job of trying to repair the PM's battered reputation. But not all is lost. Enter Jenny Morrison. Funny, relatable, and likeable. She's just about everything her husband's critics say he isn't.
Isn't that incredible that what we have expected from the Liberal Party has devolved from 2013? Liberals are going to fix up the economy. Don't you worry. They're going to fix the debt. And no, they doubled that. Okay, let's just move on to jobs and growth. No, those are terrible figures. Everyone hates ScoMo. All right, just hand the camera over. Jenny's all right, isn't she? You don't know that much about her? Yeah, let's see if the number one Sharks player fumbles it over the line with the ball being his wife's head. Try!
It's curry night at Kirribilli House.
I'm going to keep cooking.
You know what I love about Scott Morrison's quirky aspect being that he likes curry? Okay, he likes sport. That's an Australian staple, I get that. But curry. It shows that if you want to get elected, you have to display yourself as blander than Patax.
It's straight out of a cookbook, but for his critics, it may as well be straight out of a marketing playbook. And it was someone's idea that this came together in some kind of PR meeting or a marketing exercise of some kind.
We made a ritual of it as a family. Because when you do what, you do, what I do, what a lot of people do, you live busy lives, you've got to keep a sort of a rhythm to your family.
Yeah.
So the girls have been having curry since they've been about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
See, thou protests a little too much. This obvious establishment shot of you doing the one thing you're known for, this isn't some form of marketing ploy, is it? No, of course not, mate. Okay, fair enough. Let's go back to having dinner with the family.
Who can forget the last time the Morrisons took a family holiday? In December 2019, during one of the worst bushfire seasons Australia has ever seen.
Worst by deaths, just so you know.
PM was pictured holidaying in Hawaii. It was a disaster.
See? And that shows how people at 9 Fairfax think. We've pointed it out before. They legitimately think that the tragedy wasn't the fact that we now have countless species on the brink of extinction, wasn't the fact that we have national parks that are burnt to a crisp and will never recover. No, the true tragedy is that Scott Morrison's reaction to that made him look bad on camera. Move over Shakespeare, it's time to add another tragedy to the Western canon. Why did someone have to take that photo?
I think everyone worked hard, but I think then it was okay to have a holiday and things like that, and it doesn't seem that way now.
I love that comment. It really shows how inwardly focused these people are. Hundreds of people dead, 3 billion dead animals, but the real thing that gets at me is you're not allowed to have a holiday anymore and not be scrutinised about it. I mean, don't they understand that we have private lives too? So relatable.
We got to get our bags together and leave and go back home. Did you get the outcry?
Absolutely. Look, absolutely. And I am more than sorry for if we disappointed.
Isn't that great? Straight after that. If we shadows have offended.
The Morrisons did come home.
Nah, you're an idiot, mate.
Yes, King.
How are you?
I'm only shaking.
It's safe to say they won't be taking a holiday anytime soon, anywhere.
Except they've had multiple holidays since during times of crisis. But that'll be the last time. They've definitely learned the lesson.
Private family are instead opening their doors at home.
I never understood that. Why are they always saying that a family that is clearly public, like the Royals, are quite private people? Your face is on Hello Magazine every month. Ding! What screams private about that?
Dating Scott, she was 17.
Jesus Christ, isn't it amazing? First off, that he looks like a bully from Round the Twist when he was young. But second, the reason the Engadine Macca's rumour worked is because you can see it. It looks like at any moment in Scott Morrison's life, he shat himself. Let's go through this.
Oh, I thought I outgrew my nappies.
Okay, just gonna try and hold it in for this photo, and that didn't work. Even his wedding photo. Oh, someone's taking a trip to Browntown. Guess who?
What would you say to your 16-year-old self now?
Run!
Isn't this incredible? I think what's happened is they've looked at the data, they've realised everyone thinks Scott Morrison's a shifty and so they're trying to play into that with stuff like, see, even his wife thinks he's a shit but if she stuck around for 32 years, why can't you?
Yeah, it's been a really long time, but I know him better probably than he knows himself.
All credit to Scott Morrison, we just have to point this out. This man's ego is tiny. He can sit there as the Prime Minister of Australia and say nothing the entire interview while his wife and the world bags him out. Yeah, keep him coming. I know if that I roll over like a dog, you're going to give me a rub, aren't you?
Yeah, all right, you've earned it.
It is also a testament to you are watching someone who is extremely smart. I remember that there was a particular Liberal politician who said he is easily the most intelligent person in the room, and what's genius about him is he always pretends that he's the dumbest. That is a skill.
Jenny Morrison isn't afraid to tell it how it is.
That's probably it. And he's messy.
Perhaps that's why we've heard so little from her in the last 3 years.
Yeah, or maybe it's that she wasn't elected for Prime Minister, so why the fuck are we listening to her when there's an election on? It's capped off with, you ready for this? This is her telling it like it is.
I'm not a fan of politics, so I just find it too much, too ruthless, too much going on.
Her telling it like it is her saying that she doesn't pay attention to politics, followed by, it gets better.
Have you ever thought about a career in politics?
What the fuck? That is like asking me, hey mate, you know how you don't like swimming at all? Have you ever thought about being a deep sea diver and defusing one of those mines at the bottom of the ocean? I think that'd be right up your alley.
As hard as she's tried to stay out of politics, Jenny Morrison has been dragged into the headlines more than a few times. The most distressing, she says, was when comedian Magda Szubanski sent out this tweet.
Oh my God, perfect. I thought before that this was like Michelangelo with a sleeve tat of the Sistine Chapel. But this is also like if he was going to a Halloween party dressed as the Mona Lisa. That's a sneaky little reference right there. They are putting in the whole narrative that we've been discussing for months here at Friendly Geordies that, women get it so bad, particularly people that are related to the Liberal Party, of course. They're the ones that get it so bad online. Look at this not that bad at all tweet. Well, we've got no choice but to shut down your free speech.
It's 11 a.m. in the nation's capital. PM? And the Prime Minister is putting the finishing touches on a speech to the country. Boy, oh boy, you are the pump right now.
Holy fuck. Look at how hard this man works, sitting back in an unusually comfy chair with 4 sheets of paper in front of him. Fuck. How do you even read that? Step aside 1800s Clyde style in the coal mines, we've got a new workhorse. You should never be able to say to someone that looks like a jelly bean when they sit down, fuck, you're working hard.
A horrible, horrible person. The Minister is even more scathing, describing you as a fraud and, quote, a complete psycho.
The Prime Minister's wife, Jenny, was watching at home in Sydney.
And I heard that question and I actually felt sick to my stomach.
Look, this is how much they don't want you to focus on the Liberal Party's record. They're still going on about what's your reaction to a text.
When these things are said, and they were very personal things, and yeah, it was a horrible thing to hear, as it would be for anyone. But does it really distract me? Do I really sometimes expect better? No.
This is how Scott Morrison answers the question. You ready? What do you think about rebel sport? Do you think they charge too much for exercise bands? Like everybody, I think that exercising is good. Everyone thinks that, obviously. Do I think they charge too much? That's up to them. That's up to them. I'm just focusing on the job at the moment, frankly.
Well, I've been around politics for a long time and I've seen how it's changed.
Incredible. This is the guy that got whomped in the pre-selection for Cook. Absolutely obliterated. I think he got 8 votes. He started a smear campaign that was so defamatory against the winner that the Telegraph lost that case. And yet he's sitting there saying, you'd say some nasty stuff in politics, don't they?
The underdog PM knows he has no time to waste, hitting the campaign trail in Queensland.
No, don't pretend you... yeah, you're doing stuff for koalas, are you? Sorry, I'm turning into your dad now. Just at the television. What? They can't hear you.
Good to meet you.
How I was saying before that the way to get a Prime Minister elected in Australia is to make them as mediocre as possible. If you were to profile the person that Scott Morrison is going for, it is the guy that works at your office that you sometimes interact with, not every day, maybe once every 2 weeks, you'll be in the kitchen when you're both making an instant coffee. 30 seconds of chat? Well, I know him more than the other guy. That is the barest possible sense of familiarity. Look, in a summary, I think in this election, the Murdoch press could go either way.
Like Albo.
But Channel 9 actually is an ideological institution now with Peter Costello at the top. They want Liberals through thick and thin, and this is incredible. This is when you see in their last dying-ditch attempt where their genius shines. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. They have really illuminated what they're best at. Both of them working together. That's why that was a particularly interesting interview. Anyway, if you thought that was interesting, just like it whether you did or didn't, frankly. And I'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe. Oh, and also, check out my friend's rap. It's about ScoMo, so... just like ScoMo being barely relatable, it is relatable in the barest of senses to this video. See you next time.
Please share and comment below. Comment.